Good afternoon. I am Annie Meehan with AM Speaking and Consulting, and I try to come to you every Wednesday with my talk show on how to be hopeful, healthy, and happy. Today's guest got overbooked and was not able to make it, and I decided, you know what? I'm not going to take a week off. I'm going to say hello. I love my listeners, and I always want to be supportive to you and to check in whenever I am in town. In fact, I was thinking today, I remember 2018, so many people were saying to me, Annie, you're so busy. You're so busy. And I was like, I don't like that word. I don't see my life as busy. And in 2018, I decided my word was fulfilled. And I fill my plate with the things that bring me joy, therefore allowing me to live a fulfilled life. So today I decided I'm just going to talk to you about what do I think about hope, health, and happiness, and why is it so important to me? So I love all my audiences, and I love to speak and to encourage, inspire, motivate, and ultimately activate my audiences to take action on their life. And whether that's being an exception or leadership or sales or the H3 cultures, I really love to come to people and say, hey, how can I challenge your thinking, challenge your actions to become more like you want to live? So often I'm asking questions on social media to learn and then to create. I'm better at kind of paving my own way rather than always following the norms. I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? And so when I started H3 Cultures, I was working with Jane Atkinson, and I was talking about that I really understood personally from professional and personal challenges what it felt like to be hopeless, unhealthy, and unhappy. And I thought about how can I teach other people those things so that they can apply them and then live this H3 culture life individually, personally, but also bring it to their workplace, bring it to their teams, bring it to their customers. And so I started thinking about hope. What does hope mean for you? What does it mean for me? How do I show people that are feeling stuck or hopeless how to get back to being hopeful? And right away, I thought of how have I stayed hopeful when things have been challenging or when I've been going backwards more than forward. And I think the first key was that I started to look back to look forward. And what I mean by that is when I look back at how far I've come, again, personally and professionally in my life, and all the things I've been able to do, it helps me keep wanting to move forward. I'm a huge list maker. I love a challenge. I love goals. But when I look back at all the things I have done, I have succeeded at, I have completed, it helps me to have that momentum to keep going forward. So if you're feeling a little stuck, look back at all the things you've overcome, all the things you've survived, times in your life when you felt really low and thought, how can I get through another day? And you're still standing. So celebrate that. So look back to look forward and then celebrate how far you've come. And I know for those of us that are overachievers, taking a moment to celebrate can be challenging because we're always on to the next thing. What else can I do? And I'm very much guilty of that. And I don't mind it. It's very invigorating and lively for me. So look back to look forward to stay hopeful. Remember that whatever we're walking through, no matter how overwhelming or challenging or frustrating, the sun will come out tomorrow, especially if you live in Florida. But the sun will come out tomorrow and there'll be a new, fresh day. When I think about being healthy, I know I've talked to many people about health. And as a gym owner for 12 years, I always thought physical health, the number on the scale, how we look in clothes is really a low key thing if you have the other things that are working for you. And so I like to describe the 7 areas. So we have physical health. So to me, I think of physical health is how you talk to yourself and how you talk out loud about your body, about your face, about your looks. Oh, I don't look good enough or tall enough or whatever. How you look in a picture and your energy when you get out of bed in the morning. So I love mornings. I'm a huge believer in early morning people get more done, are happier people, more functional. And I know many of you are night time people, but I really challenge you to just get up a little earlier. When you create that habit between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m., I can get so much done. They're my most productive times. And I just drink a ton of water. Like just wake up like watering a plant. You are watering and fueling your body. So do you bounce out of bed? And what is something you could do to tweak that even by 10 or 15 minutes? When we think about emotional health, it is acknowledging and not apologizing for what we feel when we feel excited or sad or frustrated or angry or joyful, that we don't say, I'm sorry, I'm sad. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. Instead, we just go, this is what I feel. And I'm going to like myself and let myself feel what I feel. Mental health is like your cognitive health. Like, how's your memory? How's your focus? How's your concentration? Can you remember what you've read? Can you remember different parts of your life? Are you present beyond the pictures you take to really be present where you are in your mind and enjoy the moments? Financial health. Do you make enough? Do you spend too much? Do you give enough? Do you save enough? Those are questions to answer when you evaluate your own health, and something I'm always looking at and thinking about to make sure that I'm moving forward in the way that I want to move forward. So no judgment ever of other people, but just be aware of it. Your spiritual health, quiet time in the morning for me, prayer time in the morning for me, devotional Bible study is so important to me. Now, personally, I feel like without that, my life would just be filled with anxiety. So making sure I make time to worship, whether that's listening to praise music, reading a Bible study, laying in bed and stretching, as I wake up with the serenity prayer, always starting with how grateful I am for how blessed I am, but then moving into help, asking for help for the things I don't feel as in control about. Relational health. Do you have good people in your life? Do you surround yourself with good people? And do you have people surround you that are positive and encouraging? And do you pour into those people as well? So healthy relationships are more balanced relationships, not as codependent. The shame and saving and shame kind of get moved out of those. We don't have to rescue you, and you don't have to rescue us. I don't have to make you feel bad about something, and you don't have to make me feel bad. Healthy relationships are honest and direct. Relationships. I had a relationship recently, and somebody was telling me, it seems like people think you have it all together. You're perfect. I'm like, okay, I never tell people I'm perfect. In fact, part of my brand is authentically Annie, get it done, Annie, and letting you know I embrace the messy parts. And that's part of what brings me joy in life, is acknowledging I don't have it all together, but I'm loving the journey as I continue daily to work on the missing parts. Career health. Do you like what you do? Do you like who you do it with? Do you get fairly compensated for the work you do? And does it still challenge you? So we have relationships, spiritual, career, financial, physical, emotional, and mental health, all 70 of those areas. So I always encourage people when I'm speaking, pick one area and one key and do it one step by step. Just recently, I was asking Facebook about 75 Hard because I had heard about that. And then somebody else told me about 64 program they have. And I was thinking, I don't know. I love whatever program works for you, work that program. Whatever gym works for you, go to that gym. I'm not here to sell or teach anything, but I love programs that are supportive, but also compassionate, right? Like challenging and encouraging, but also compassionate, that humankind and real life happens for people. There's a woman that does Fabulous Fit on YouTube. And I just love her because she's such an encourager, but she's also a challenger. And she always says, it will be challenging, but it's doable. And I love that, challenging and doable. I try to set goals in lots of different areas of my life, kind of one at a time, usually, to be challenging, but doable. So I love that language. And again, for me, getting up early is part of that. Getting up at 5 and getting a mental, a spiritual, a physical, an emotional base for where I want to go that day. Because my plate is full and yes, fulfilled, I have to take care of myself to be able to do the good work that I get to do. So I want to think about that. I often ask people, are you living by choice or by chance or by circumstance? And if circumstances are keeping us from being who we want to be based on where we came from, based on what somebody did to us, based on a struggle in the past, well, then it's time to get rid of those circumstances, remove them or move past them, right? Like I meet people often that are still struggling with something that happened 20, 40 years ago. And I'm always like, let's move forward. Like, let's not blame any of our exes or our family or our friends for what we are doing or not doing. Instead, let's move forward by the choice of how we want to live our life by design. There was a pillow that said married, single, or building your empire at a conference I was at recently, Women in Automotive. And I loved it. I thought, we don't have to be dependent on other people for our own achievement, financially, physically, emotionally. We can decide this is how I'm going to show up and this is how I'm going to take care of myself, not waiting for others to have to do it in order for us to succeed. So think about that. When I think about happiness, I love to laugh mostly at myself and the goofy things I think or do. But I look around me and there's humor everywhere. There's beauty everywhere. That makes me happy. I love right now, I'm looking at palm trees in the front of me. I'm just above the palm trees. And to the left of me is the ocean. And please don't be jealous of where I live. I planned this. I prepared for this. I dreamed of this for 30 years. And I love it here. I love coming home to the beach and walking on the beach this morning, getting up for an hour and 15-minute walk, one headphone listening to Compound Effect and one ear listening to the ocean waves. Met my friend Shauna for a little bit and walked, took my dog. But that movement of my body and creating my brain to be focused on what I really want and not making excuses allows me to achieve more and to live in joy. This weekend I did an exercise. I've chosen to take on something new that I will be announcing in August. But I made a list of 10 things that I need to eliminate in order to take on something new, because I can't just add all the time. Otherwise I will look busy and not fulfilled. So I made a list of 10 things that I'm willing to eliminate that are time wasters or not focused toward the purpose of where I'm going in my life. And so I encourage you to do that. Part of being happy for me is not getting too overwhelmed, getting up early and doing my self-care so that then I can spend the rest of the day working on supporting clients, encouraging, connecting, building my network, are all part of my strategy for being happy, laughing at myself, being playful, going to comedy, watching funny movies, or reading things that make me smile and laugh, looking back to look forward, going back to my hopeful also can make me happy because I realize how far I've come and all that I have achieved. I know I had another speaker friend and we talked about, I didn't finish high school. I got my GED. I didn't finish college. I was busy being a mom and working. And I certainly believe in education. I encourage you to stick with it if it is your path to finish at high school and finish at college. I'm so humbled and grateful to have been able to do some high school and college commencement speeches. But when I earned my CSP, when I completed that, my certified speaking professional, I was so emotional. It made me so happy. I was thinking, I'm a big vision. I'm an activator. I love to start things. But to complete something is very rewarding and can make you very happy. So what goal are you thinking about right now in your life in any of those 7 areas of health? Think about it, write it down, share it with somebody, pick a day to start, pick how often you're going to work on it every week, when you're going to work on it. 10 to 2 are really my focused hours, but I try to be at my desk by 8 a.m. And just really get to work. And I just encourage you to look for ways that you can be hopeful, healthy, and happy, but then that you can also spread it to other people. And if you ever have questions that I can help you with on how you can shift out of being anxious or unhopeful or worried, constant worry. I have another family member that says, why don't you worry? And I said, I pray. And you can replace worry with prayer, and then you'll move from anxiety to hope. You can replace unhealthiness with happiness. And I love when people say, don't think about what you're taking out. Think about all the things you get to do and you're adding into your life. It's a much more positive way to look at it, but it also creates a list of like, hey, when I'm missing this, what are some things I can still do? There's always plenty of positive things to do, whether it's writing a gratitude journal. And then I like to challenge people, don't just write what you're grateful for, write what you gave away, encouragement, kindness. Or when you're thinking about being unhappy or you feel sad or stuck or it kind of put in a pit of a place you don't want to be, serve another person. It is amazing how happy it will make you, how much joy it will bring you to serve another person, someone you know, someone you don't know, an organization, a clothes bank or a food shelf, or just going and picking up trash on the beach. I see people do that every morning and I'm like, they're serving people they don't even know. So those are my tips today. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I got another meeting to jump into, but I wanted to say hello. I wanted to say happy Wednesday. Please take care of yourself. Work on staying hopeful, healthy, and happy, first for you, and then because you can go out in the world and make a difference, whether it's in your family, in your organization, with your team, or ultimately with your clients, because clients love to engage with hopeful, healthy, and happy people. I'm Annie Meehan, a motivational speaker, easy for me to say, a motivational speaker, inspirational and activational, ultimately an award-winning author, the Hall of Fame speaker from Minnesota this year, and a CSP, Certified Speaking Professional. I look forward to working with you, serving you, and encouraging you on your journey.